It's been 6 days since James Gunn took charge of the DC universe, and today he has been very vocal about a movement within the DC fandom. But it seems a lot of fans are not happy with what he has had to say about the Ayer cut. Hey everyone, welcome back to our movie news. James Gunn being hired as co-chairman of DC Studios has had mostly positive reactions, including myself. It's only been 6 days since he began his new job at Warner Bros. Discovery, and already he has took to Twitter to communicate with the DC fandom. In a thread of tweets, Gunn had this to say: "Opened up Twitter at the end of a long, creative weekend to see the many tweets to save Legends of Tomorrow and hashtag release the Ayer cut, and fan support for other DC projects over the years. The majority of these requests were enthusiastic and respectful. As the new and first ever CEOs of DC Studios, Peter and I think it's important that we acknowledge you, the fans, and let you know we hear your different desires for the pathways forward for DC. Although our ability to interact on Twitter has been lessened due to the workload of our new positions, we are listening and open to everything as we embark on this journey, and will continue to do so for the next few years. But all our initial focus is on the story going forward, hammering out the new DCU and telling the biggest story ever told across multiple films, television shows, and animated projects. We invite all of the DC fandoms from across the multiverse and everyone else as well into this new universe. We can't wait to reveal more." So before we get into the big part of those tweets, I just want to mention how great it is that we have the head of DC Studios communicating with the DC fandom. And I think there will be more like this in the future. I think as time goes on and more films and shows are greenlit, we will hear more from James Gunn through social media, which is something that has massively been missing from DC. There has been little to no communication from company to customer, and that was unacceptable. But James Gunn is bridging that gap, being transparent with us fans so that we are kept in the loop, and that will ultimately benefit us and the company. Now to the big part of that news. He has heard the Release the Ayer cut movement, but does openly admit that their initial focus is on the story going forward. Now, I really want to emphasize the words initial focus. Not the only focus, but initial focus. As in, right now, we are 6 days into the job and the DC universe has no plan past 2023. So right now, we need to focus on branching out the DC universe so that we can create new stories and where fans can be excited for the future of the DC universe. But that doesn't mean that once we've planned out the next few years that we can't look back at films like Suicide Squad and release the Ayer cut. It just means that right now their priority is and should be the future of the DC universe. I know Twitter is a horrible place and a horrible example for what fans are thinking, but it was where the initial announcement was from. And early Twitter reactions have a lot of fans who are pushing for the Ayer cut really angry. And I think a lot of them have either twisted what Gunn has said or have just missed the key points of what he is actually saying. He hasn't said the Ayer cut won't happen. He's just said focusing on things like the Ayer cut isn't their initial focus. And to be honest, why should it be? I get it that it is in demand, nowhere near as much as the Snyder Cut was, but there is still a substantial amount of fans who want to see the Ayer cut. But why should the DC heads focus on the past of the DCU when the future hasn't even been planned yet? This 10-year plan that they are working on will be complicated and will take time, so why would we want them to put that on hold just to focus on releasing the Ayer cut? If they put their focus on the Ayer cut instead of the future of the DC universe, are they really progressing the company and brand? And that's not me saying the Ayer cut shouldn't be released, because I really think it should be. But not when the future hasn't been created yet. DC will never be able to move forward if their first move is to fix the past. They need to greenlight films and shows for popular DC characters first, create the hype, increase the engagement, bring in the success and grow the DC universe, and once they have that, then they can release things like the Ayer cut. If they can do both at the same time, then that would be ideal. But clearly they can't, and if I had to choose between releasing the Ayer cut now and putting the future of the DCU on hold, or creating the future of the DC universe first, and then in a few years' time release the Ayer cut, then I'm choosing creating the future of the DC universe first every single time. purely because that is what will progress the DC universe the most. Not once in James Gunn's tweets did he say that they will never release the Ayer cut. In fact, he acknowledged the fandom respectfully and gave us an honest answer instead of leading the fans on. We never got that under the old regime. DC has made huge progress under the new management, and it looks like it will continue to under DC Studios. We just need to give them time. Anyone getting angry with things not happening right away just need to lower their expectations. Not their standards, but their expectations. DC won't change to the exact way you want it to overnight, and it most likely won't be exactly how you want it. But if you want a better DC universe, DC Studios will give you that. We're now in an era where we have DC fans in charge of the DCU, and where they are open and honest to us fans and have stated multiple times that they will listen to their fans. If they keep doing that, then this franchise will continue to improve. But if people get on their back for them not doing things as fast as they can, or not exactly how they wanted it to be, then you will never be happy. I definitely think we should keep high standards, but I don't think we should expect everything to happen at once. And we should also appreciate the progress made, because under the old regime, none of this would have happened. Remember that they've already fixed some of the mess that the old regime created. Henry Cavill's Superman and Ben Affleck's Batman are back. They were both going to be gone after the Flash film, but Discovery changed that. Anyone hating on the new regime because of the old regime's decisions is really doing something counterproductive. Not only are you hating the ghost of a regime that no longer lives, but you're also encouraging the new regime to distance themselves from those fans. I too did not like the old regime, and I had no faith in the future of the DC universe. But that all changed when the new regime came in. And so far, DC has been getting better, and I think we just need to be patient. So until I see something that I categorically disagree with, I will give everything under the new management a chance. I will continue to keep high standards, but that doesn't mean I'm going to reject anything that doesn't fit in with my ideal plan for the DC universe. And yes, the Ayer cut as of right now won't be released, but they never said it won't happen. They only said they are initially focusing on the future of the DCU. I still have a lot of faith in James Gunn and Peter Safran, and hopefully, in the near future, once the DC universe has a long-term plan that is greenlit, the Ayer cut can be released. Before we end today's video, I just want to remind you all that the road to Man of Steel 2 has begun. Episode 1 and 2 are now up on my channel, so if you haven't checked it out yet, make sure to head over to that playlist so you never miss a Superman update. But that is all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video. I hope to see you here again soon, so until then, have a great day. Bye!